My mom pulled me aside and said, "Next week is just special. You being there would ruin that." My dad added, "You're too different now." I clinked my fork to my glass, duly noted. That night, I reversed every Italy charge, locked their URAIL passes, and canceled their airport transfers. At check-in, they were denied everything. My brother's text came first. "Unblock the account now," I replied. "You're not coming next week." My mom didn't even look at me when she said it. She was wiping a water ring off the counter like that meant more. "Excuse me? It's just special. We need peace. You being there would ruin that." My fork hovered in midair, a single piece of rigatoni slipping off the edge and splattering on my plate. My dad cleared his throat and looked up from his damn Kindle. "You're too different now, Mason. You always make it about you. That's not what this trip is for." I stared across the table. My younger brother Josh blinked down at his phone like he was trying to disappear into it. My chest burned. My jaw clenched so hard I thought a molar might crack. "Duly noted," I said, raising my glass of sparkling water and clinking it against my fork. The sound cut through the silence like a warning shot. That night, I sat on my bed and logged into every booking account, reversed the Italy charges, locked the URAIL passes, canceled the private airport transfer. Their itinerary evaporated by sunrise. At check-in, they were denied everything. Josh's text came first. "Unblock the account. Now." I replied, "Guess I really am too different now. I'm Mason Carter, 25, software engineer. Still paying off a degree I had to take out private loans for, because Dad said FAFSA was welfare. I live in a one-bedroom apartment in Chicago. I can barely afford. Most days I carry the silence of people who only needed me when it was convenient." My parents didn't attend my college graduation. Josh's high school homecoming, though. Limo, balloons, matching shirts. I'm not dramatic, I might exhausted, but I wasn't born bitter. They built that version of me. And last week, they finally met him. The Carter family. Pain in 4 faces. Mom, Diane Carter, 61. Retired early. Calls herself a lifestyle blogger. Mostly reposts crockpot recipes. Told me therapy was a scam by liberals. Called me too emotional. Since I was 12, only speaks to me when she needs tech help. Dad, Richard Carter, 64I, former corporate accountant, tough love evangelist. He co-signed a boss loan on my name for Josh's Jeep. Never told me. Said I owed him for being fed. Josh, 19. Their golden boy, freshman year at NYU, all paid for, including a MacBook Pro I bought on my credit. During COVID, when they couldn't afford it. Calls me bro like we're equals, like he didn't help bury me. Me, Mason. Used to laugh too loud. Used to show up for birthdays, holidays, funerals, even when I wasn't wanted. Now, I don't raise my voice. I raise the cost. I'd been invited to this Italy trip, originally. Even helped plan it. Booked hotels, cross-checked airport times, downloaded every boarding pass. But then Diane had that talk, said they needed a drama-free memory. Said I'd taint it. And just like that, I wasn't a son anymore. I was a liability. So I did what liabilities do. I pulled the plug. The group chat lit up like a siren. Josh, 2:03 p.m. WTF did you do? We're stranded in Newark. Mom, 2:05 p.m. Mason, this is cruel. Call me now. Dad, 2:08 p.m. You think this is justice? You're pathetic. I stared at my phone from the cafe window, espresso cooling beside my laptop. Outside, couples laughed beneath blue August skies. Inside me, a silence so total it felt like snowfall. But they didn't ask why. Because deep down they knew the reason. They just never imagined I'd finally act on it. The trip wasn't the problem. It was what it represented. The pattern, the erasure. The convenient silence every time I bled for this family. I didn't torch the bridge. They paved over it, cashed it in for my own miles, points, and control. They'd boarded that flight thinking they still had a hold on me. They didn't realize that I'd stopped being the dutiful son the moment they told me. I'd ruined their memory. So now, I was giving them one. The memory always came at night. 17 years old, my MIT acceptance letter printed and folded neatly in my desk drawer, right next to a packet of instant noodles and a stack of AP physics notes. Then, Josh fell off his skateboard. Compound fracture. The X-ray showed splinters. The insurance said no. I remember Mom's voice shaking through tears as she scrubbed dishes harder than necessary. "We don't have the money, Mason." I remember Dad's back turned as he poured scotch into his thermos like it was water. "Family sacrifices," he said flatly. "This is yours." They never asked. They just assumed MIT could wait. But it never came back. Life doesn't hand you second rounds at elite schools when your gap year turns into 5. Josh never even knew. He was too busy learning acoustic covers of Ed Sheeran and chasing girls' embraces. And I gritted my teeth and coded in dorm hallways I wasn't supposed to be in. They called it character building. But it didn't build me. It broke something. And no one noticed the cracks. I only discovered the Roth IRA because Dad didn't know how to generate a Schedule E form. He asked me to just write a script or whatever you do. So I did. And what I found, $210,000, tucked into a retirement fund that he'd never mentioned. Not when I asked for rent help, not when I cried through a winter with no heat. A refinance notice from last year, a mortgage paydown, a $36,000 wire rafe gone to NYU. All logged, all dated. All while I was maxing out credit cards for Josh's laptop. They forgot I could see everything. That I built the software. I stared at the screen for an hour. Every click a betrayal that had no apology. Every transaction a reminder that they chose him over me, again and again and again. I copied the files, created a Google Drive folder labeled Forgotten but Not Forgiving. And when Dad called me a pathetic child in the group chat, I shared the link with the HOA board, the church lady's mom bakes banana bread for, Josh's girlfriend, who once told me my parents were so loving. Let them see. Let them witness. Mom's voice cracked like glass in my voicemail. "How dare you embarrass us like this, Mason? How could you? You've gone too far." Then silence, followed by a long inhale. Then, "This is why you're alone." Dad's voicemail came next. "You disgrace this family. You always have. This proves it." He hung up before the beep. But Josh called. He didn't yell. His voice was small, shaky. "I didn't know, Mason. About MIT. About any of it. I swear." There was something childlike in the way he said my name, like he was still 11, running after me in the yard. "Please, I have a midterm due. I can't access my iCloud. Just please unlock it." I paused. "Let him sit in it, then." "Get a Chromebook," I said. Like I did. And I meant it, not out of cruelty, out of clarity. Because for once I wasn't folding. I wasn't making room at the table they built to keep me out. 7 days, no texts, no calls, no guilt. I muted the family group chat, watched as message bubbles turned gray, watched as Mom is typing, popped up, then disappeared, watched as the silence finally settled. I exhaled. Then, Friday night, the buzzer rang. "Josh, in a hoodie, eyes red, shoulders heavy. I needed to see you." He pulled something from his pocket, a USB. "I found this last week, didn't know what it was until I played it. It was a voicemail Mom had sent Dad last year." I clicked play. I never wanted a second kid. I only had Mason to stop the arguments. I didn't even want to name him, but you insisted. I felt nothing for a few seconds, then everything. Josh looked away, then back at me, tearful. You didn't deserve any of this, Mason. My throat tightened, but I didn't cry, because for the first time in 2 decades, I believed him. I didn't go to Italy. I went to Barcelona. Alone. No itinerary, no one to apologize to. I wandered the alleys of the Gothic Quarter, where laundry hung like flags and music spilled from cafes like warmth. I ate olives by myself, smiled at strangers, watched my reflection shift in the windows of ancient buildings, not as someone's disappointment, not as a fixer or scapegoat, just a man, unclaimed and whole. Josh and I text now. He sends me photos of his lunch. I send him old memes. It's slow. It's real. Mom emailed an apology. I didn't open it, because healing doesn't mean waiting for an apology. It means no longer needing one. I'm not bitter anymore. I'm awake. Next summer, I return to MIT, not with regret in my gut, but with purpose in my spine. This time, I'm not there to be chosen. I'm there to teach. If your family ever made you feel invisible, broken, or less than, you're not alone. Mason's story is fiction, but for too many, the pain is real. Like if you've ever chosen peace over pleasing people, comment below. What would you have done if your family canceled you like this? Would you forgive? Fight back? Walk away? Subscribe for more stories like this, raw, real, and healing. Don't forget to turn on notifications. There's more coming. And this time, it's your voice that matters.